Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Me having two unhauls within the same year is something I never thought would happen, but here we are. So this is a little unhaul I decided to do because I got new shelves and I still had more free books, etc., and like multiple copies of books that I had no wish to keep on my shelves anymore since the last unhaul I did, which was my first ever, where most I got rid of like Norwegian books that I got for free. Some of that repeats here, but there's some like actual books I spent money on, etc., and for reasons I'm unhauling them. It's not that big, but it's big enough for me, so let's get through them. I actually did this live first on Patreon where we decided together what to unhaul or not. So yeah, if you want tidbits like that, you should check out my Patreon. But either way, let's start. First off, we have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So I don't have anything against Gatsby or anything like that. It's just that I am collecting another classic editions and all of them matches. And I bought this before I started to collect that. And I don't need 2 copies of Gatsby. Obviously, some people like several copies of the classics. I just don't, but I have many books I have several copies of, obviously. But yeah, I don't need this. Erica wanted this though, so she's getting it from me. I don't want it because I have the other one, which I like those editions more, and I have like many in that. So yeah, I don't need this. In the same era, we have Dracula by Bram Stoker, which I again have in those other classic editions. So I don't need this one, but again, I bought this first because I thought initially that I was going to collect these, which has like the red spines. It's the vintage classic ones. And I have actually, I'm looking over 2 or 3 others in these editions, but they don't have the other one. So I'm like, I don't care, I'll keep those because it's in the height. I just don't need 2 editions of Dracula when I have the other one, which I like much better anyway. I don't like even love it, so I don't need this. But Erica again wanted this, so she's getting it as well. Then I have Puti by Jon Espe, which is the 10th book in the Unhauling series, which is a Norwegian crime series. I have this in paperback, and I got this one for free, and the paperback matches some other books I have. So I just decided to keep the paperback, and I don't need 2 copies of a book that I barely like, but I'll still keep them. So I don't need this hardcover one, even though it's actually like quite nice condition. But again, I got it for free, and I don't need 2 copies. A part of me is like, if you know me, then you should be surprised that I'm saying the words. I don't need 2 copies at all. Then I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Like, don't shoot me, but I like the book a lot, okay? I have the normal UK paperback, and I have like the special edition somewhere, the 10th anniversary edition. So like, I have 2 copies, and I hate mass market paperback. I feel a bit bad because I got it as a present, but here we are. It's just tiny and ugly, and I can't even read it. I was wanting to keep it because it was a gift and because I like to collect multiple copies, but this one is just so ugly, there's no point. And also it's a bit broken, and I just hate it. I hate the look overall. I'm getting rid of it. Hopefully my library wants to keep it, but maybe not because it's like a weird edition. Then we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This one, ironically, used to be one of my favorite books of all time. Not anymore. I'm not like a huge fan of Rainbow anymore. I don't need this copy because I have the pink collector's edition copy in hardback, and I don't need a paperback. I used to want to keep both, but I don't anymore. So this is just a normal UK paperback. I have no need for this. Even though it brings memories to look at it, again, I have another copy. And maybe the library hopefully want it. Then I have Shadow Me by Tara Mafi. This one was an accidental buy where I bought like the librarian bound edition. That was because I didn't know that the cover changed from the first book to the second book at the time. Now it exists with the I in hardcover, but at the time I didn't know the cover changed. I thought that this was the right edition when I actually had to buy the one with the lady that is ugly. So I wished for this, and then that's what I got, and it's very ugly. I am tending to just buy the UK paperbacks of the series. I do want to like read it still. I just don't want this ugly copy because it's ugly, and maybe my actually library would want a library bound edition. Then we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I'm actually getting rid of one edition. I have many sets still, but this is like the one I got free at like a holiday place. It's very ugly. I never like read it in this. I just took it because I wanted to collect the paperbacks as well as the hardback. It's not even read by me, it's just ugly. And I don't need this. It's not even a complete set. I feel a bit bad on hauling Twilight because Twilight, but again, I don't need it. Then we have one I struggle a lot actually getting rid of, which is The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. So this one I want to keep because I think it's a pretty book, but I really didn't like the story, and I actually don't like need it on my shelf. But it's like a hardcover book that I paid for, and I feel like never, as you know, like actually unhaul the hardcover book I paid for, and it's like hard to get now, but then I need to actually get the sequel and buy that and read that, and I'm like, I don't want to. So I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need it myself taking space. And then my Patreon forced me to unhaul it, even though I didn't love it. But I agree with them. But looking at it now, like, am I really gonna unhaul this? Like, a book I spent money on, a book that is in hardcover. But the story was terrible, so I usually don't unhaul things just because I didn't like them. Because I just keep everything, as you know. This is like the exception because, yeah, I feel bad. Then we have Eleanor on Park by Rainbow Rowell. Again, I have the hardcover virtual edition up in my closet. People would tell me to get rid of that as well, but it is basically a very racy story. I loved it at the time when it came out, and I'm not planning to unhaul my other copy, but I definitely don't need this paperback at all. Like, I would just keep that other hardcover. I don't need this in any way. Then we have all of my Maze Runner books. I have the first trilogy and then the first part of the like prequels, which is the Kill Order. I haven't even read this. I read these, but I haven't read this. I was planning to get the rest, but then the cover changed. I can't even get these covers anymore. And then I just realized I never really liked the story and have no need to keep them. And the author, you know, was the whole like sexual harassment thingies. So I feel like these should go to my library where people will borrow them and not give more money to the author. And yeah, I think that they are okay books at the time, and when I think about the story more and how it was written, I don't really love it. I love the movies because Dylan Bryan, but like it's overall not a great story. I don't yeah, so I don't need these, even though it feels a bit weird again. That's like I'm unhauling like a, what's it called, super popular dystopia that I thought I would keep forever because like honoring this time, which like I have loads from that time, but I'm unhauling these. Feels weird, but goodbye. Then I have the Casual Vacancy by The Turf, and I'm like, I don't need to explain why I'm unhauling this. I haven't even read this. I'm never gonna read it. I was planning to at the time. I never am. I still have my other books by the author in my closet. They would just stay in the closet, but this can die. Then I have Venus Now by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the name of the wine in Norwegian. I got this one for free. I just like grabbed it at the time, and I don't need it in Norwegian. I'm never going to read it in Norwegian. Again, I took it because I like want to collect multiple editions. I don't need it. So yeah, this can go to a better place. Then I had The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Don't worry, I love Cruel Prince. The Folk of Air is one of like, I wouldn't say my favorite series, but one of the series I enjoyed the most. But I also have 3 different sets of it in exclusive editions, special editions, whatever you want to call it. I do not need a normal UK paperback. This one was the first I bought before I read them. I have no need to like keep this one. Like, I really enjoy the series. As I said, I just don't need the space that this paperback is taking when I have so many other sets that are prettier and I spent a lot of money on. Then I have Self-Help by Miranda Sings. I don't know what more you want me to say. But overall, this book sucked also. Like, I read it and it's not even like a book. It's just shit that was made to make money, and I spent it, but I don't need it anymore. It can go away. Now it just brings back memories I don't want to have in my head. Then I have Når himmel faller ned by Jennifer Cody Epstein. I think it has an English title. It's The Gods of Heavenly Punishment, and it's like a World War story set in Japan. It was weird. I didn't like it at all. I was interested in it because Japan. And I was just like, why do I care about this like white author writing about Japan? I don't. That's another discussion for another day, of like what people can write or not, if there's a blah blah blah. I'm not taking that now, but point is that it wasn't even a good book and I got it for free and I don't want it on my shelves. So goodbye. Then I'm unhauling all of Half a King trilogy. I don't know if that was called, by Joe Abercrombie. So now, okay, I know this is so stupid, but the thing is that I haven't even read this, but they got new editions that I find so much prettier. So I bought the first one of those editions a long time ago. And then I'm like, I don't need these and those other ones. And then I bought a full set of that very recently so that I could feel comfortable unhauling these because they're ugly. It is so stupid because that basically means I just bought the same books 2 times. But I just wanted other editions. And I don't want these. I don't like them. I think they're ugly. A friend of mine actually wanted all of them. So they're going to a good home. I'm very happy about that. I don't know why I'm telling you like where the books are going. It makes me like I'm comforting myself knowing I'm giving up my babies, but I'm giving them better homes. It's fine. I don't know anything about this series. I want to read it. I just love those other editions much more. Even though I guess it's in a way also wasted money because, you know, you spent the same money twice. But yeah, goodbye. Tower of Unhauling has come up here and I feel like it's gonna fall. Then I have at least Days of Blood and Starlights and Use of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. I am planning maybe to unhaul Out of Smoke and Bone. I might keep it for a little while. But basically, Aslug is getting these. I debated keeping it for a little while because apparently these covers you can't get anymore. But then I'm like, why would I want these random paperbacks I'm never going to look at again? So here's the thing. I love Laini Taylor. She's one of my favorite authors. Stranger Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares are one of my favorite series of all time. I didn't love this series. Like 2 and 3 I didn't love. I like number 1 enough. But I have the Illumicrate 10th anniversary editions that are like exclusive, pretty hardcovers. I don't need these. Like I don't need this, especially for series I don't enjoy that much. And like even though like they have cool covers, they're just like normal, cheap UK paperbacks. I don't want them. I don't need them. I was debating keeping them for a while and then I was just like, why? Why Sandra? I even put them in a closet of shame for a period. Now it's not a closet of shame anymore, it's just a closet where I put some books I don't want to look at. But now I have so much more space that there's not that much in there. I'm at least unhauling those 2. The first one, I might give to my library, I might just keep, but I don't know, it seems weird to keep it. So yeah, who knows. Then we have the first 3 books in the Percy Jackson series, but in Norwegian. So I kept these because this is originally how I read the books, the first 3 ones at least. Now I reread it in English, etc. And I want to keep them to read them to my nephew when he grew older. And I'm like, I could just borrow them at the library where I don't need them. I'm never ever gonna read them in Norwegian again because I have the English box set. I'm never ever gonna look at these or read them. And this is like one of the most popular series that go out in the library. They always loaned out. So giving 3 more copies to my library seems like a great idea. And like I love the series and all that, but again, I don't need 3 hardcovers of the first ones that I never managed to buy the rest of to match because I was too slow. I was planning to, but now I never got to. So I don't even have the full set when I have the English ones that are the ones I will read. So yeah, they're going to a better place. But yeah, it feels weird to say that I'm unhauling Percy Jackson. I love it so much, but I don't need these. I feel like you should have taken a shot of every time I said I don't need these in this video. Okay, so the last one, it's a bunch of books that I'm gonna try to haul up at once. I actually spent a lot of money on these. So I'm like, why am I unhauling them? But it makes sense soon. I don't think I will manage to haul them all. They're like unsteady. Give me a second. So this is almost all of the Game of Thrones books in Norwegian. So they split it in parts. So it's part 1 and part 2 of each book, except the last one. The last one is, by the way, this one, which is part 1. I was waiting for part 2 to come in these paperbacks to match all of these. It existed in hardback, it never came in these paperbacks. So I never got to buy the last part of the last book, which is why I never read it, by the way. Because I read all the others, I was waiting for the next part and never got to read it because it never came in the other part that matched these. Because I wanted to buy them all to match, obviously. I love this series with all my heart. It is one of my favorites. I just don't need them in these Norwegian ones because I'm gonna read them in English. I have a full set of English ones. 1.5 set, I guess. And then obviously the rest of the book will never come. These you can't even get anymore because they switch publishers and have like different covers and all that. But I really don't need these, even though it feels really weird for me to unhaul them. I had them for like many years. And obviously I spent a lot of money on them because they're Norwegian, they cost more, etc. And this is how I originally read A Song of Ice and Fire. But it takes a lot of space and I'm never gonna like read them in these editions. I don't even know if my library would want these, but maybe someone out there would want them. It's weird for me again, but it's time to say goodbye to books that just take space. And I obviously wouldn't do it if I didn't have those others, etc. But I want to read them in English, it's original language. So yeah, at the time when I read them, I wasn't good enough in English to read them, but now I am. So yeah, goodbye. I always feel sad because like I felt a bit emotional for some of these. Some can burn, but others are like, dang, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I did it. You should be proud. This is character development. I'm planning to like unhaul a bit here and there. But mostly I keep a lot of the things that other people probably wouldn't keep. Maybe in a few years I will be brave enough to like unhaul things that's more like they're forgetting. But that was just a one-time exception. I'm looking around of what I could unhaul that I didn't like. Like an example. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that is this unhaul. How many was it? I think it's 35. Is that correct? It seems like the wrong number. I'm honestly not sure. I think it's 35. I didn't count out of Smoke and Bomb because I'm unsure what to do with that. So I think that's decent. That's good, I think. Okay, well, I think in Unhaul I had 50 or was it 40? So that's like at least like 80 books on Unhaul this year. That's a lot. That's almost 100 books. Dang. Some I will always keep forever, even if I didn't like them, okay? Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Leave a trash something down below, because the books are going in the trash. They're not actually, but leave it down below if you enjoy this. And you will see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!